All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. Thank you for being here today. My name is Elsa Silva. I'm the housing coordinator for Oaks and Mitchell Carson College. And my office is located at Oaks College, right above the Oaks Cafe. And so I am available for you for any questions regarding this application period that's happening next week, and any questions regarding any specifics to your roommate group, anything that we talk about today. I'm available. You can come see me in person or you can email me at esilva@ucsc.edu. So I'm going to be talking about what we have available for you as a continuing students. We here at Oaks and at Rachel Carson. I'm also going to be talking to you about the pre-assignment phase and also the timeline. I encourage you to really make a note on your calendars regarding the timeline, especially if you are interested in living on campus. And if you're not sure, I still encourage you to apply because, as you know, sometimes it's hard to find off-campus housing. And there is no fee to apply to fill out a housing application. That's free. So you can apply if you're not sure if you want to live on campus. But if you are 100% sure you want to live on campus, please do apply. That's my advice from students from the past. They were hoping to live off campus, they didn't apply, and so they ended up on the wait list. So I don't want that to happen to you. I want to give you all the information so that you can successfully, secure your on-campus housing for this fall 2026. I will also talk about the room selection process, and let's get started. So what do we have available here at Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I guess I have to click my cursor. So at Oaks College, we have apartments are reserved for continuing students. We have 4 buildings, and some of you already know those buildings because you currently probably live here at Oaks. So most of our buildings are right. There's 2 that are close to the Oaks College Road. That's Casa Calo and Shabazz. And then right behind the Oaks Cafe, it's called the Lower Lawn. That's where we'll have Lilio Block and Milk. We will reserve 377 beds for you to choose during a room selection. Our apartments are 3 stories high, and our apartments come in various configurations to accommodate a roommate group of 5, 6, or 7. The bedrooms are a single or double or triple. So now if you choose a single, you're the only person in that room. A double, there's 2 of you in that space. A triple, there's 3 of you in that space. Now, the bedrooms are assigned with students of the same gender. These are 4 configurations, and you can see here, the most common for Oaks College is the 6-person apartment. And these are the configurations. The 6-person is 3 singles and a triple. The other 6-person apartment that is a 6-person is a triple, double, single. And then we also have a 7-person apartment, which is very limited. And most of these apartments are located at Casa Calo and Shabazz. And you can choose that one as well. And the other one we have is a 5-person apartment that's 3 singles and a double. And as you heard before in the previous presentation by Gabriela, if you do decide to live in the apartments, a meal plan is not required. You will need to voluntarily go ahead and apply for that at dining.ucsc.edu. Near the apartments, we have a lounge area where you can go and use and study. We also have the laundry facilities nearby the apartments. Sorry about that. I'm having problems with my cursor.
And
Uh,
I'll just jump in here really quickly. My name's
okay.
Vanessa. I work with Elsa. And
Hi,
if you have any
Vanessa.
questions, just go ahead and put them on the chat and I'll be answering your questions as best I can. Otherwise, I will write them down and email you the answers to the question after our session here today. Thank you.
I will also have a QR code later on in this slide presentation where you could take a picture of the QR code for your questions. So we created a worksheet here. As you can see, this is the worksheet for Oaks, and it has like, if you are forming a group, you want to use this worksheet, we will have it available in the office. And you could form a group of 6 or 5 or 7, and you want to use this for you. This worksheet is for you to keep. You don't have to turn it in, but it will help you prepare when you are looking to, form a roommate group. So as you can see here, you want to write, for example, the first one here, the 3 singles and a triple. This is a 6-person apartment. In the line here, single, you want to write the name of who's going to take the single, who's going to take the other single, and who's going to take the triple, and you want to add their emails. This is that way when you are ready to select the apartment, because you applied at Oaks, you will only see apartments when you log in on April 7. During the room selection, you will only see the apartment that holds 6 students or 5 or 7. And at Rachel Carson, we will offer apartments, and they are single, doubles, and small doubles and triples. And those are reserved for continuing students in buildings 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. And these are the configurations that you can see here. We will have 314 beds reserved for you to apply at Rachel Carson. We have 3 5-person apartment configurations, and we have the triple and the single single. We have the small double, single single, and then we have the double triple. I know this is a lot of information thrown at you. These configuration layouts will be available for you to view. You can take a picture of it now, but they will be available at the housing website, which is housing.ucsc.edu. They will be available there for you. And as you can see, the most common 6-person apartment, we have 23 of them, and that is the 2 triples. One of the 5-person apartments are kind of very limited because those apartments are going to be reserved for the freshmen. I will have one available for you to choose from. Again, this is the worksheet that we developed for you to come pick up at the housing office. This is where you can prepare your group, and that way you're ready when you select your housing on April 7th. We will also offer single rooms in our residence hall. So at Oaks College, I have reserved some single rooms in Casa Huerta mainly. But these dorms are reserved for first-year students, and it's a mixed community of first years and continuing students. We have 8 single rooms offered for our student leaders, and then several of them reserved for you to choose on April 7th. We will have 7 singles available at Rachel Carson Rest Hall buildings, and 14 of the singles will be reserved for our student leaders. Now we're going to talk about the pre-assignment. What does that look like? This is a very important timeline. I encourage you to take a picture or write important dates down on your calendar. The first phase is next week. That's apply for housing. You want to log into the housing portal, and the application period is 7 days. So it starts February 19th through the 26th. And you want to go ahead and take your time filling out the application, because this is where you want to indicate where you want to live. You can only choose one community. So if you want to live at Oaks, select Oaks. If you want to live at Rachel Carson, select Rachel Carson. This is where you will add what room types you are willing to accept. And you will answer the 6 life the 6 questions about if you, get up early, if you go to bed late, or if you want to be more social. Try to be as honest as possible and when you fill out your application. I think last year a few students thought they submitted their application and they didn't. So I encourage you to take your time, go slow, make sure you click submit. Once you click submit, you should receive a confirmation email that says, we received your housing application and your interest. So make sure you take your time and submit it. During this time, this is the only time in the application period, February 19th through the 26th, that you can go back and change the community if you apply to the wrong one. Or like Gabriela said, you can just cancel the whole thing and reapply. But this is the only time you can do that. And then after the application period, beginning in March, we will be assigning students during our pre-assignment phase before room selection on April 7th. And these are really our student leaders who also have roommates that want to live with them. If they're eligible, we'll assign them. Any students that have an accommodation for a housing accommodation for approved by the DRC, we'll assign them. And then we'll continue on for room selection in April, and that's April 7th. And then the timeline starts. We will assign students April 7th. If you, for whatever reason, don't select your housing during that day, we will work with students from the waitlist as long as you verify that you are still interested. This is an open event that the DRC will be having. I encourage you to attend. It will be Tuesday, February 24th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're going to be located at the Kerr Hall basement level, room 54, and they will provide lunch. So that's good. So just go and meet the DRC staff, and it'll be a good opportunity for you to ask questions regarding your situation. Here is a QR code for you to, take, text or ask any questions there. The pre-assignment phase will begin March 9th through the 31st, and the housing coordinators will be assigning our student leaders that have been hired for next year and their apartment groups, alongside with anyone who has been offered a campus-wide theme area. For example, if you here at Oaks, we will have ABC housing at Shabazz Apartments. So if you strongly prefer there and you want to live there and you accepted the offer, we will assign you there. And or other campus-wide theme options, like the ILC or the transgender inclusive over at Redwood Grove. Any of the campus-wide theme options. And of course, any students with any disability housing accommodation, we will assign them as well. And let's see. So the accommodations that students will request from the DRC could be like you need a specific housing type, like for example, a single room, or you need housing that has no steps or stairs, or a visual alarm. Any students who have an accommodation for an emotional support animal do not fall into this category, and you will not be pre-assigned. So during pre-assignments, only students with an accommodation approved by the DRC. So example, if you have a DRC for a single room, you will be assigned, but not your roommates if you want to form a group. So if you do want to form a group and you want to live with your friends and you have a DRC, you have to decide before April 7th what you want to do. Do you want to be pre-assigned by the housing coordinator, or do you want to just go ahead and participate in the room selection process with your group? And yeah, you will need to decide before April if you want to proceed for the room selection with your group or not. Room selection. Who is eligible to participate? So you have to meet both of the following criteria. You have to have been in housing for winter of 2026 and the spring quarter still living on houses, then you are eligible. And but you also need to reapply for housing, filling out the housing application. You need to fill that out. Every student who wants to live on campus, you need to fill out your own housing application. Do you want to do it during this application period, February 19th through the 26th? So please write that down. Any students who are doing any education abroad program or who has been approved to take a leave, as long as they were here for housing, they will also be eligible to apply. In the application, it's super important. You see this little roommate group on the right here. You want to click that icon and click this little box. And this will be in your application. This the way you can add roommates to your housing application. Um, and you want to make sure if you want to form a group that you will apply to you all apply to the same community. For example, if you all want to live at Oaks, every member needs to fill out the application and select Oaks as their community, and then check this little feature here that says, yes, include me in the roommate search. So that way, each person can add their friends that they want to live with. And you want to make sure you click save and continue. Students must first apply for the same community in order to form a group. And make sure you do that little icon roommate request process in the housing portal to form a group. You can edit your roommate group up until room selection. So you can remove someone or add someone, just make sure you do it before April 7th. So creating a group is really easy, easy as one, two, three. So you want to click the roommate request icon in the housing portal. You want to select option to create a group, and you want to search and invite your friends by using their email, UCSC email. So remember that by joining a group, you are authorizing that group leader to potentially select housing for you and accepting their decision as final. How are the start times determined? Students who apply at the affiliated college or the UTC or the village will get the earliest start times, will receive them. And anybody after that who apply who are um, will receive, who apply, who are continuing students, will receive start times after our first years and our rising sophomores. And the start times are randomly generated and cannot be changed. So if you form a group of 6 and 4 out of the 6 in your group are affiliated with RCC, you will receive the earliest start time. So that's 4 opportunities to get an earlier start time. If you have a non-affiliate who is joining your group, as long as one of you has applied to your affiliated college, the affiliated student will get the earliest start time and the non-affiliate will not. But since you're forming a group, the affiliate can pull you in and add you to the apartment of your choice. If that's an apartment, you have to completely fill the apartment, whether it be a 5-person apartment or a 6 or a 7. So don't worry if you apply to a community and you're not an affiliate, as long as you are forming a group with other affiliates that can pull you in and add you. Room selection will start, it's only one day, it's April 7th, and it's first come, first serve. So when you log in to the community that you have applied to, for example, if you applied at Rachel Carson College, you will see the apartments at Rachel Carson, and you could choose the apartment that accommodates your group and depending on the availability. So Unfortunately, as students are logging in that day, they're selecting, so we don't know what's going to be available when you log in. So it's really important that you have a backup plan in case you don't get the apartment that you wanted, your first choice. If you wanted a 6-person apartment, there's two options, right? There is the three singles and the triple, or there's single, double, triple. Make sure you discuss among each other which type of apartment you would like, which is your first choice, which one's your second choice. So just prepare. So when you log in, depending on where you applied, you will be able to see the community. You can select your housing. You can, select show the room info. You can add your members to the single or the triple and so forth. You want to make sure you fill the entire apartment, and then you will secure your housing. If you are a group that only has two members in it, you will only see the the room that has two available spaces, but most of the rooms will be filled by groups of 5, 6, or 7. Most of those apartments will be filled quickly. And then individuals, if you want to apply for a single room, you will see that single room and you can select it. So for groups, um, depending on your group, if it's a 6-person apartment, so that would be you and then 5 other housemates. And then you want to select your housing. And this just talks about more when you're logging into the room selection on April 7th. It shows you want to make sure you place a hold on it if you want to select it. There is a time for you to select. So that's why I encourage you to prepare, discuss who's willing to go into triple, double. And if that doesn't happen, who's willing to take a single or a triple, just kind of have backup plans. And the time will be shown when you log in at the top of the page, the right of the page. So to complete your selection, you must completely fill the apartment. Otherwise, you won't be able to uh, uh, assign, you won't be able to select it. So if you have a group of 5 and you log in, but there's no more 5-person apartments for 5, be prepared that you might want to have a 6-person because maybe you'll see that there are 6-person apartments. Make sure that all of you can fill every room in that apartment. And that's the only way you could secure your housing. You have to completely fill all of the rooms in that apartment. Or if you assign yourself, then it would be a single room, and you can go ahead and do that. Once you confirm your selection, you will receive a congratulations, you have secured your housing, and then your application becomes a binding contract for the academic year. So for example, here it looks like they selected at Stevenson and all 4 people are there and they've hit confirmed and assign. So on April 2nd, everyone who applied for housing and is eligible, you will all be receiving an email. So check your EC email on April 2nd with start times. So if you are forming a group, discuss among each other who has the earliest appointment. That's the person that's going to be the leader to select housing for you all. Of course, you can all meet together, be all together in the same room, and have that person log in and just do it all. You could still be together. It's just that you need to have that person who has the earliest time, right? Because space, the earlier the better, as during the day, students will be filling the apartments quickly at Rachel Carson or at Oaks or at other communities, depending on where you apply. And discuss who's willing to take the triple, double, single, have backup plans. It's really important. In case the option is not available for you, maybe your group will need to be split. So forming a group doesn't guarantee there will be available spaces for your group, size or gender makeup. It's because I don't know how many spaces are going to be available. I don't know how many people are going to apply at Oaks or to Carson, as we have, listed earlier how many spaces we'll offer. So if we offer 377 beds at Oaks, for example, and then 500 people apply, well, not everybody's going to get to select their housing. So the remainder who don't select on April 7th will be on the wait list. And we will be assigning you, I will be assigning you to a space that best meets your preferences indicated on your housing application. And, and that could take all summer up into the fall. But you will need to, again, if you are on the wait list, we will assign students from the DRC first, any scholars, any Renaissance students. Of course, we will try to accommodate as many students as possible as spaces become available. What are my chances of getting housing during room selection? This is not something we can predict. We don't know how many people will apply and what type of housing they will select. Maximizing your chances by applying during the application period, February 19th through the 26th, forming a group with with other eligible students, and having backup plans for your roommate group. I encourage you to attend our Roomy event that we will be having today in the Oaks Learning Center. So come on down. I'm going to be there. The CREs will be there, and we will, you'll be able, it's a great opportunity to come to these events because you will be able to meet other students, and maybe you can form a roommate group because maybe you just, you haven't really met people. And this is a great opportunity to meet other students. So I encourage you to attend. I'll see you there later this afternoon. And the gender, how does it affect when I'm assigning myself to an apartment? So for example, in the housing portal, we will assign students. For example, if you identify as female, we will assign students in the same room if they identify as female. If you identify as a different gender other than a female, then you will be having a hard time selecting a triple room or a double. And so you will need our help as housing coordinators. We can go ahead and help you. We will offer a QR code on April 7th for students who form a group with other students who identify as a different gender. My advice is that if you feel comfortable for the room selection process only, is go ahead and go to myucsc.edu portal and see what your gender is. And depending on your group, um, you might want to change it just so that you could select your housing, or if you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. We will send out a QR code you can reach out to the housing coordinators, and we will assign you if you have any difficulties assigning yourself to a triple or a double and you're trying to form a group of 6. So singles rooms, there's no issue there because if you're a female, you go ahead and assign yourself to that single, or a male, or a non-binary. But if you want to assign yourself to a triple or double with somebody else who identifies as non-binary and you are a female, then you will have a little bit of difficulty. So my advice is to maybe change it if you feel comfortable. If not, don't worry. We will send you a QR code. You can log in and we will help you select your housing for your group. So if you do want to make those changes, just visit my.ucsc.edu, and any changes that you would make there will take about 24 hours to reflect and to update. So if you have a hold on a space or having difficulty completing a selection because of the gender issue, contact me if you apply to Oaks or Rachel Carson, or you could visit this website here, housing.ucsc.edu gender, and this will have a QR code, and we will be helping students that day, all of us housing coordinators. So this is the timeline as was shown to you previously earlier. Just remember to apply during the first phase of the housing application period. So that's February 19th through the 26th. And then pre-assignments will be in March, and then room selection will be in April 7th. And then anybody on the wait list, we will, housing coordinators, us housing coordinators, will assign any students who are on the wait list as long as we have the right space that you want and that you verified your interest by letting us know that you are still interested. So make sure you'll be checking your email for those emails that will come from housing asking you to verify. So don't despair if you are not able to select your housing on April 7th. Uh, you will be on the wait list and we will do our very best to assign you as spaces become available. I don't encourage you to cancel your housing application unless you have found off-campus housing and you have the keys and the lease in your hands. So here we will be working on the wait list, like I said earlier, as housing coordinators, and make sure you re-verify that you are interested in living on campus. We will be working throughout spring and summer into fall with students from the wait list. So I'm going to go ahead and just review some of important dates. So info session is happening this week, one today and one tomorrow and Friday. So I encourage you to attend. Even if you attended today, you can attend again. And then Meet a Roomie event, we'll have one here today at the Oaks Learning Center at 5:30. Hope to see you there. And then don't forget to apply. There's no fee to apply, so please do that. If you need help with anything regarding when you're filling out the application, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. You could also walk in. My office is above the Oaks Cafe. And then pre-assignments, we will be assigning all the student leaders, anyone who has an approved DRC accommodation for a specific type of housing, or anyone who has accepted our theme campus-wide housing. And the room selection will happen April 7th. And you can scan this QR code to submit your questions. And we will be answering those questions at the conclusion of this info session. Reminder again, application period, it's February 19th through the 26th. And then if you forget to apply during this time, you can still go ahead and apply. You'll just be on the wait list. And you will not be eligible for room selection. But we will do our best to offer housing to anyone who's interested in living on campus. So please apply on time. That's my best advice. And apply by logging to studenthousing.ucsc.edu. And this concludes my presentation for you today. And I thank you for coming. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.